Sorry, I'm just sciencing. So it says here, you are
a loser.
you need to train more. Ruined my own life and I've shaved my head, so...
Oh my god.
You can't lob a baby on a treadmill and make it exercise, and
Why
so,
not?
yeah, there are some
wait, you
ethical
can't?
issues, yeah.
Guys, this video is going to be really important for those of you that want to optimize and excel in your training and your racing. Precision Fuel and Hydration have been a long-time supporter of myself and the channel, and I appreciate that so much. And I thought it was about time for me to go down, take a visit, meet the crew, see their new setup, and chat all things sweat testing, sweat loss, and fueling for training and race day. This is something that has become very apparent for myself. Taking the leap from 70.3 to full distance is no easy task, and fueling has become more important than ever. I feel like to some degree you can almost blag a little bit through a 70.3 if things are going badly. If things go badly with fueling in an Ironman, you know about it. You know about it pretty quickly, and it's going to be a very uncomfortable day. I've had experiences like that in the past. I don't want to have that experience in South Africa. So I'm going to bring you guys along for the journey down to Precision Fuel and Hydration. We're going to run you through the sweat test with myself and training partner Freddie Webb, and we're just going to get some information from the guys down there. If you have any specific questions that you want to ask them or myself, drop them in the comment section below. I'll be sure to get back to you or get one of their team members to get back to you. And without any further ado, let's crack on.
A little box that creates an electric current that goes through these two discs.
Yeah.
These two discs are strapped to the inside of your forearm.
Yeah.
And with a small chemical disc that goes underneath these. That chemical is called pilocarpine. There's no exam at the end of this, you don't have to remember this stuff. But basically that is...
Not going to.
That, when pressed onto your skin, essentially triggers the same response that sweating in exercise does to your brain. So it tells your brain that that area needs cooling down to produce sweat in a very localized area. It's about the size of a 2p coin. That patch will then continue sweating for around 40 minutes, 45 minutes. What we do, this process takes about 5. Then we take these off and put a little collector on that will collect that sample of sweat passively whilst you just sit there. There's no exercise involved. So I was almost disappointed you didn't turn up in your running kit, because most people, when we say you come and do a sweat test, pitch up in there like alpha flies and in their arm sleeves, and they bring the lot. But no, it's good. Harry obviously briefed you well.
Harry didn't brief me at all.
I should have told you.
Thrown him under the bus. You need full skin suit.
Yeah.
The test itself is a medical grade test used in hospitals to diagnose cystic fibrosis.
Okay.
So that's the beat. So that will take about 5 minutes. You might feel a little bit of tingling in your hand. Some people feel nothing at all.
Yeah.
You can move your arm and stuff as long as you don't like whack it.
You're looking lean.
Yeah.
Definitely not lean at 86 kilos.
We have to tell everyone.
66. That's mad. That is 9 millimoles per litre.
Yeah.
Basically, that we do a conversion that takes into account the molecular weight of sodium and the percentage of sodium as a sweat electrolyte. So that's measuring total conductivity of your sweat.
Yeah.
We want to work out how much of that is sodium.
Yeah.
And the way to do that is we convert that number by 0.89 because around 89% of your sweat electrolytes are sodium chloride.
Yeah.
And then we multiply it by the molecular weight of sodium, which is 23.
Okay.
And that'll give a milligram per litre number. That is milligrams per litre.
Yeah.
What will be really important for you going away is to do this calculation here, which is going to work out, that's your known number.
Yeah.
594, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's say 600 milligrams per litre. That doesn't change.
Yeah.
So the milligrams per litre doesn't change.
Yeah.
But this sweat rate number will change.
Okay.
So you want to know how many litres per hour am I losing?
Yeah.
Because that will tell you whether you need around 600 milligrams in an hour, or whether you need 1800 milligrams. If you're losing 3 litres an hour, you could need 3 times that number. So but what you would drink is still going to be a concentration fairly similar to your sweat. 1228 milligrams per litre, so you're in this high category here. What we've also talked about is that Fred thinks he's got a pretty high sweat rate, and so your net losses on an hourly basis from a sodium perspective could be quite similar. If your sweat rate is double that of Harry's, your net losses of sodium on an hourly basis would be very close. But your replacement strategies would be quite different. Doing some sweat rate measurements, weighing yourself before and after some key training sessions will help work out how much actual fluid you're losing, because that will inform how much you would then aim to drink during races and key training sessions to top up your fluid levels. So the concentration of your drinks can certainly be lower than what you've been having, because you don't want to over salt, because that can make you too thirsty, can cause some swelling, and is really unnecessary to drink too much. But now that we know that you are in the low sodium category, you can aim to similarly match the concentration of your sweat, perhaps using the thousands to go slightly over, just to account for the fact that you're going to be drinking some plain water as well during the bike ride. Some people choose to put all of their fuel and hydration in bottles and in the same bottles, and that works well for them. But for the most part, to keep things simple and to help your stomach out, make things easier to digest, we typically recommend decoupling the carbohydrates from the sodium and the water. But the length of the race that you're preparing for isn't hugely long in the grand scheme of things. And as long as you practice this sort of thing plenty of times in training, the likelihood is you won't have any issues. But the key is practice and work out what's best for you. If the gels in the bottles is something that works for you, fantastic. If you find that actually you're getting a little bit of stomach upset, a little bit of a couple of stitches, or you feel a bit bloated as a result of doing that, you could trial separating the gels from the fluid side of things and see how that goes. They're aiming for around 100 grams of carbohydrates per hour, as long as you're practicing that fairly regularly during some key sessions and some longer rides. In the format that you're going to be using, so the flow gel and the gels, because again, there's a difference between gut training to prepare you for racing and actually race simulation. Because both of those things will help you do well in races, but one or the other isn't necessarily good. So eating cereal bars or big bowls of porridge before you head out on the bike is great for gut training, but it's not necessarily going to help you prepare specifically for taking gels. We're not robots, and so we want to make sure that you're getting as close enough or within the right ballpark of your fluid and your sodium losses. You've got the sweat test results now. You know that you are a salty sweater, but you're not excessively salty. So you've got to sort of keep an eye on things. What you're choosing to do is what we see a lot of people do, which is carry the majority of your sodium, if not all of your sodium, in one bottle. And then as you drink that, you also drink some plain water. So by the time it's all in your stomach in the big washing machine, it's diluting it to a similar concentration. And again, practicing that is going to be really important, because just the consumption of that salty drink could cause you some stomach upset if you've never done it before. Most people, it's a common strategy we see do something like that, and they're fine with it, but just make sure that you practice that sort of stuff. The high concentration with the water, similar sorts of time. Make sure you've worked out what your net fluid intake is going to be based on some sweat rate testing, similar to what we talked about with Fred. Make sure that you've weighed yourself before and after, go through the calculator, roughly work out how much sweat you're going to be losing in South Africa. If it's warm, you'll sweat more. If it's cool, you'll sweat less, etc., etc. Then you'll be able to work out how much additional fluid you'll be able to pick up on the bike.
There you go, guys. Hopefully some really good information for you to go away with and implement into your training and your racing. If you want any further information from Precision Fuel and Hydration, then click the links in the description below. There's some discounts down there as well, so please make use of those. And what I would say is just find the products that work well for you, test different things. If you found what works well for you, amazing, keep using that. If you haven't found what works well for you, just try different products and the variation of those products, because I've definitely found in this training phase that I'm in now is just everyone is so different, and I've tried to copy certain people in the past, for example like Leon and other people, and it just doesn't necessarily work. So it's taking inspiration from what they do and what the best in the sport do and how they fuel, but making sure it's in a way that works well for you so you can get the most out of yourself. Hopefully that makes sense, and I really hope you guys enjoyed that video, and I'll see you in the next one.